Divine brothers and sisters, this is a very special, quick transmission. What has been invoked and brought to my attention for our divine family to hear about locations over the next 3-year shift and where you are positioned and what judgments, stories, and things might be coming up cognitively to give you a little bit more awareness, acceptance, and confirmation that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So if you have not tuned into me before, I'm Giaya Ariati. I am the founder and the co-creator of the DAC process, a modality of complete healing and transformation that will help the humanity completely reconcile the suffering of the psyche. And I am the master teacher of the purity of Isis. I assist women to activate their purpose, align to their innate wisdom, and transform into that of the divine feminine that they already are. So if you haven't tuned in before, you might feel a lot of activation, tingles, you might feel a lot of sensations. There is a lot of frequencies and innate knowing as you receive these information sessions and this education, as it's already innately deeply within your DNA cells and your molecular structure. You already know, and I'm just a messenger here to express that which you already have deeply within your being. So the message here in relation to this is around the next 3 years. If you haven't received any of my transmissions, definitely go back and educate yourself and find some of the information around what's unfolding and what's taking place. But it's becoming quite apparent. In our experience, there is a lot of things unraveling in what I'm going to call, and what many are calling, the exposure project. So the exposure project is exposing different things that have gone unwitnessed. They've gone unseen. And this is an unraveling which will eventually create the financial collapse, change in parliamentary and political structures, schooling systems, and will be the complete separation and dividing point of what is considered to be old Earth Gaia and new Earth Tara. This is the split or dual reality that we are already in. These realities exist right next to each other. They are coexisting. And what's happening over this 3-year period is a lot of transformation, a lot of what you could call a separation point. So with the old Earth choosing and the new Earth choosing, there now has to be a separation point that allows old Earth and new Earth to coexist. And so where you are at this point in time, you will possibly experiencing a lot of change, because there is going to be increased weather transformation, there is going to be different political agendas, there is going to be aspects of extreme dissension in certain towns, there is going to be vibrational shifts, there's going to be a lot of trauma, a lot of grief, a lot of sorrow, a lot of loss. There is going to be a lot of exiting of this experience. So there is what some would consider a mass exodus. I don't use those words because I don't find them aligned to my frequency, but there is a choice where those beings that came in the first, second, and the third waves of the ascension and the Great Awakening are going to exit. They no longer want to be here. Their contracts are up. Some have chosen to stay, many have chosen to leave. And so these leaving souls might come as a shock. People that were well versed in their purpose, people that were happy and appeared to have a shock exit, or there is just a radical amount of individuals that you see passing or transitioning into a new experience. Now, with this, there is so many ways that over this 3-year period this split is going to occur, but where you are located is starting to bring up for many of the bringers of the change, and specifically I speak to the 144, is that we are questioning, why the fuck are we here? Why am I in this location? This location's old Earth. Why would I be here? This location doesn't suit my vibrational truth. This is not what my soul wants. There is a lot of frequency around positioning of where you are located around the Earth at this point in time. And this message is to confirm and validate that you are in exactly where you need to be. Now, as this unfolding occurs, there is going to be a lot of rapid transformation in awakening. So if you can remember and look back to when you first awoken, and when you went through that dark descension, when you started to see truth, you went through what is called the dark tunnel. You go into the subconscious, you go into seeing the reality of what you're around, and you're like, this is not the world that I thought I lived in. There's anger, there's rage, there's wanting to wake everyone else up, there's a level of psychosis, there's obsessive thinking, seeking, needing. And when you go through that awakening, what is required is stable, grounded mentors. So people that have already moved through this stage, people that go, it's okay, this is normal, this is natural. What can you look at? Don't focus on them. What is coming up for you? This is the perfect time for healers, the perfect time for those that have just moved through their purification, the perfect time for those that are leveling up their business or their purpose ventures to move through that evolutionary shift. Because what's going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months is a massive awakening of the next steps. Now, these individuals that are going to awaken are not necessarily going to be those that become Christed or those that become the beings that some would consider ascended masters in form. We're already there. Those are the beings that chose this in their role as the 144. They've already arrived to that realization. If they haven't arrived, then they've chosen to give up their role and they're exiting. If you have a different role, then you're holding that role. We all play a part. No one's role is more important. Everyone's evolution is at a very different point of time. Some are choosing to remember, some are rising into evolution, some are gaining more education. So with this, what's happening is when you consider awakening, that's the crown chakra. That's the very, very first step to unlocking the 7 chakras of the physical body, or what I call the purification process, the Baraka process, a process that I used to teach in ancient Egypt through one of my previous incarnations. And this purification is a very powerful process of clearing, activating, and transforming each chakra so it can stay open in the full creation state or the transcended ego state, where you get to live in pure presence and you are in a divine union with self. So this is super powerful. This is what Christ, this is what Yeshua taught and brought through. He was able to do this, purify through the temples of Egypt. Then he was able to anchor in a higher state of consciousness, which brought us the opportunity to become Christ-like, Christ consciousness beings. And so this is a reference to understand that the first stage of awakening is the crown. This is for man and for woman. And what happens is that moment where you go, my childhood was not what I thought it was. The school is not teaching us the things that we really need to know. Our medical system is actually poisoning us. What is going on with media and TV? Oh my God, these songs are brainwashing me, right? So you have an awakening, whatever your awakening is. Sometimes it's plant medicine, sometimes it's a tragic event, sometimes it's trauma, sometimes it can be anything. It can be sporadic. You can be lying in bed and go, oh my gosh, wow, God visited me, right? And these awakening moments are big transcendent moments where you have such an influx of frequency that your brain and your neurology starts to move, transmute, and fire in different ways, where you see a perspective of consciousness in a new way. And so with this, when you have so much frequency and activity in the brain, that can create a level of disassociation, mental illness, challenges with paranoia, a level of obsession. There is a lot of instability that happens. And if you imagine this on a mass collective level of the crown chakra awakening, then you're going to see that there is a need for you where you are. There is going to be a lot of people that are going to go, I thought you were fucking crazy, but I'm starting to see the crazy myself. What do I do? How do I do this? How do I? and they're going to freak out and they're going to need you. Now, the challenge with this is that most people don't see the value of what it has taken for you to get to where you are, because they can only see from their perspective. So this is about setting yourself up, seeing that this is eventuating over the next 6 to 12 months. What is it that you have mastered? What is it that you have integrated? What is it that you can be of service of, and that you let go of this paradigm of false reality of exchange and sacred invitation in the form of currency, and you allow yourself to go, I can offer this service when it's needed. I know that I can help someone do this. I know that I can help them integrate this, and I know that I've mastered this myself. Now, this doesn't mean that you work in a space like I do. I work in transcendence. It's a pretty big area of consciousness to work in. You might specifically work with someone who's working in that of divorce and working on healing their heart chakra, coming into self-love. You've mastered that area of consciousness. You're an expert in that area because you've already developed it within your own life. You already have the strategies, the frameworks, and the way that you did it is how you assist others. So allowing yourself over this next 6 to 12 months to build your framework. What is it that you have to offer, so that when those people come to you, you've already got that platform. You've already got that stability. You've already got what you charge. You've already got what it is that you offer to help them, because they are going to need you. And when that happens, you can have the source guidance, your intuitive recognition of, do I do this for a financial exchange? Is this something that Spirit's just guiding me to do? Is this something that Source wants me to produce? What is it that is really true for me here? You don't have to charge. You also can charge what you're worth. And so this journey for you as an individual will be a big aspect of recognizing who you are, owning what you've come to on your healing journey, seeing your truth, seeing who you are in your remembrance, and anchoring that in. And so this time is paramount for preparation for what's to come, and allowing yourself to see, own, hold, and build. And this is where we're going to assist this first wave. This first wave is actually the most gentlest wave. And it is the first wave that is gradual. There's going to be some dramatic things. There's going to be some intense things. But it is not going to be anything like what is going to come. And so sit with that. Allow yourself to nourish and nurture yourself. I hope that this transmission, this offering, and this quick sporadic share before my beautiful dinner date with my beloved and my beautiful daughter, is here to nourish your soul in some of those things you've been questioning, some of those things you've been wanting answers on, and that validates exactly what it is as to why you are where you are, so you can start putting into action and play what is needed. I love you, beautiful souls. I hope you have a beautiful, amazing day. Like, subscribe. If you know someone that would receive value from this content, please tag them or share this on any of your social media platforms. If you don't follow me, each of my social media platforms is designed differently, so you will receive different messages in each area. And I would invite you to feel into the resonance of if you would like to follow. My link tree is in the comments below. And if you would like to join our community where you can receive daily energy updates and information and support through transmissions, quantum healing, and transformation through Mystery School, please join us at Bring the New Earth Tribe. All links below. Mwah!